follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again.
Will you follow me? We won't Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. It is a Monday night, which means it is time for your Monday night email. That's right, the one show that could have been an email, but instead you got to watch 2.5 hours of a wrestling quote unquote show. of the WWE variety. But memes and jokes aside, welcome to the show. We're here to talk about Monday Night Raw, here to digest some of the stuff that happened tonight. A few good things, a few meh things, but nothing really terribly bad happened, at least. So, at least happy about that. Welcome all of our returning viewers and listeners. Hopefully, you guys have had a good start to your week. I know it's Monday. You might have the Monday blues or whatever, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Your Weebs of the Ring are here to kind of help you cope with that, if you will. But who are we exactly if you're new here? Well, we've got anime in our souls. We got thoughts of wrestling out of control. And we are a group of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So, of course, allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we go through the wrestling events of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all you nerds out there. So, grab your steel chair, yell for the table, and get put through an experience unlike any other. We, of course, are brought to you by Animal We Studio, and this is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. I am one of your co-hosts here tonight, the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the most decorated podcaster in all of sports entertainment, your world champion Watkins here to help guide us through this wrestling event that we had tonight. But of course, never alone in this endeavor. Two lovely gentlemen are right above me. First and foremost, on the right-hand side, he plays the angel in all of this because he's the very positive guy in all the things that we end up doing. He is known as a visionary, a revolutionary, and hide your girlfriends too, because he likes to steal them as well from all you horrible boyfriends out there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Legend D Vash. Vash, how you doing tonight?
I'm trying to heart AJ so people can know, like, yo, you gotta, remember to cheat your homework. But it's your boy, the visionary, the legend, the human typhoon, Legend D Vash here. And look, I appreciate Watkins for starting the show like this because it gave me the memory flashback of me watching not saying being interviewed by Christian Light of how like he gave himself his own moniker, and I was just love hearing Walker that he's the world defending champion, like, because you know what, because he calls it himself, and I call myself the visionary. I am the one that sees the vision that will be seeing us. We are the best wrestling podcast out there, and that's what we are. Yeah. Yeet. Yep. 4 words.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It's all about the attitude, all about having those positive mindsets. And of course, the man who helps us kind of process these stories that we have to talk about every single week on Mondays and Fridays, sometimes on Thursdays as well, with grappling with the week, and every month for these PLEs. He is known around these parts as the genius of the mat. And also, ladies and gentlemen, he is a man that has a damn birthday today. So happiest of birthdays to the genius of the mat. Drop this box. Drop. How you doing tonight? Did Raw live up to your birthday expectations, or did it kind of stomp a horrible foot into your birthday cake?
Hopefully it wasn't like what happened with Penta a little bit later in the evening. But thanks again for the happy birthday wishes from all family and friends. I had a great weekend, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the month in July because, like me and Watkins spoke about last week, we got a lot of exciting things to look forward to this weekend. Also, just a little things on the side, movies, games. Summer's usually a fun month that delivers us a lot of things. But when it comes to Monday Night Raw, I mean, the things that I wanted to see, there was progression there. I was happy to see some things added to the Evolution card. I was happy to see some little vignettes to remind us, like, yeah, this match is happening, just so you know, so we're not like glossing over or anything, because there was a couple things I was thinking of in my head where I'm like, are we gonna focus on this or not or whatever. But I thought it was it was like, I guess I could say it was an all right show tonight. I wouldn't say it's bad at all by any means, but I do like a couple things that we did get in this show tonight that we will touch on.
Of course, and we'll touch on those much like a no, never mind. I'm going to keep it PG here. No Catholic jokes tonight, folks. So even though it's late at night, so you can probably understand that with the South Park humor. But of course, just a couple programming notes for you guys tonight. Grappling with the week this week, of course, happening on Thursday. It's going to be a huge predictions video because there are 4 big wrestling events happening this weekend. 3 of them mainly from WWE, but one huge one from AEW. So stay tuned for the special predictions episode of Grappling with the Week. We've of course got your usual Friday Night SmackDown goodness, and stay tuned as well because we might be doing some different things, some new things, some modern things here on the internet when it comes to wrestling content on the channel. So stay tuned for all of those announcements. They're on social media. You can see them on the channel. You can hear from us as we go live with these shows. And yeah, so I want to see happy birthdays to drop in the comments
as well.
in the chats. Give it to us right now. And if this video gets at least 5 likes, I will make sure that Sydney gets another doggy ice cream because I gave her one the other night and she loved that thing. I need to post that picture and the video too in our Discord. So yeah, just remind me at the end of the show to do that because I meant to share that with you guys the other night.
Can't wait to see. But
yeah.
Just to add something little on the promo side of Weebs of the Ring, as well, if you want to see some anime manga content, we also have Off the Binge that did appear, as always, every Monday at 10 a.m. EST, and there's Wednesday, which will be Anime Lady Podcast episode 186, which we talk about everything Anime Expo, and like Drop This Box said that this is a summer season. We have a big movie coming out, Superman, the movie 2025. It's coming out this weekend, and we'll be reviewing that for episode 187. So stay tuned for that for next week. Wednesday review coverage are coming out every Wednesday at 10 a.m. ST for every Anime Lady podcast. And can't wait to see this Saturday, fucking the Great American Bash. Oh, and Saturday main event. 3 events in one day. That'll be our first. Live.
Yeah.
Most likely we'll be live from 1 p.m. until like 12 in the morning. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. At least with one thing or 2 things. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Again, you got to find out. Follow us on social medias, all that stuff. But we'll get into those plugs later on. I'm done plugging our stuff. Let's get into this show right the flip now. Headline story mainly being Seth and Bron do things tonight. They basically ran the show tonight. They had a mission statement of just causing mass chaos, mass destruction, mainly on 3 individuals. Those individuals being Penta, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. So our night started off with Bron and the Rollins bunch starting the night, coming out, starting to do some promo work. I do like this. I like the fact that we had everyone talk. I mean, Seth didn't really say too much because again, he's the leader. He shouldn't have to say, like he's mainly just there to be like, hey guys, I'm gonna boost you up. I'm gonna be the leader. I'm gonna make the plans. Y'all got this and all that. So we basically had Bron jumping on the hate train on Sami Zayn. He hates everything about the man, his music, his looks, his beard, the fact that he doesn't go into the gym and like lift 500 pounds with his one pinky. Like, why? Why are you dissing a man that just wants to be a good athlete in his own right? Man, Braun just joining the player haters club, but whatever. Bronson Reed wants to tsunami Jey Uso many times, and he does mention, I like how he pointed this out, he mentions that even though he tsunamied Seth 6 times, he ended up getting Seth's respect because of that. So thank you for that little nod. We'll dive into that here in just a minute. And of course, Seth doesn't need to say too much. Paul Heyman ends up getting on the mic just saying, hey, you know, Penta's going to go down. No more Cero Miedo. Or, you know, apparently Paul Heyman started speaking Spanish tonight. Out of nowhere.
Él habló el español y dijo toda la promo en qué quería decir.
Yeah, so whatever Vash just said, he'll translate most of what Paul Heyman said later on. But yeah, welcome to Monday Night Rollins. Yeah, great opening promo segment. I thought, again, at least I like how we're getting them talking and how, like, especially when Braun started it off, because, like, you just have Seth and Paul Heyman in the back just kind of reacting to it. Like,
what the fuck?
What the hell is this guy doing? What the fuck? he's not the leader, but he's talking like he is. All right, fine, whatever. Vash, I'm gonna start with you. What'd you think of this opening promo?
I love it. I didn't expect it, and that's the best thing out of it. Seth and Paul Heyman, or technically we should call him now, not anymore the wise man. He got a new moniker. He calls himself the Oracle. And which timeline can ya not? Can ya not? Yeah, too much. If you know, you know. I don't need to explain the joke for you. But when it comes to the new name, cool. Seth, and them having their own little background type of banter in the back, like question what's going on. I love how everything that was going on felt natural, but felt chaotic in its own type of neutral way. And that's kind of what Seth Rollins' group is where like we don't know what's like we know the end goal, we just don't know how we're gonna get there with things building up, the Money in the Bank briefcase, which one's gonna go for, all those things. But I love how Bron Breakker also said that this man Paul Heyman and Seth, they told me that I'm going to beat the star for the next 2 decades. That's interesting as well. How do you guys feel about that? So I can't wait to hear your thoughts about this, because that kind of shocked me when I heard Bron said, like, oh, next 20 years? Okay, that's interesting, which I don't mind it. Bron Breakker is amazing what he does. He's good promo. It's been a while. I don't honestly remember the last time that Bron Breakker actually did a promo, and it was great to hear him, and just the way he was walking around, the way he was putting his point across, and I love how Bronson Reed just follow up with that. But on Bron Breakker alone, I love it.
Oh yeah, same here. So yeah, all right, good. So there's 2 likes for it. I'm almost positive we'll get a 3rd like here. But with you, Drop, I want to ask, how do you feel that this really just added some layers to Seth's group? Because again, like a lot of the times when we get these new groups and all that, it's mainly the talk piece talking, or the leader talking. So for a while now we had Seth and Paul Heyman talking. So like now we're getting Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker talking. So how do you feel like the layers really just kind of built upon themselves here just from this promo segment?
So I felt like this is something a lot of people wanted when it came to this group, because one of the things that some people were complaining about online is the fact that the group didn't really talk much when it came to Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Like you guys discussed, Seth Rollins is there, Paul Heyman is there. That's a given. You're always going to see them talk. But we also know that these other 2 guys are supposed to be built in this group as well. So obviously you want to hear from them, so you know their mission statement. So having them come out, having Bron Breakker cut a promo, tell us everything about why he doesn't like Sami Zayn. He doesn't understand why other people like Sami Zayn. You build into that match later in the night. You have the whole thing with Bronson Reed talking about how he delivered 6 tsunamis to Seth Rollins. Respect was given there just to show how destructible of a force he is. And then obviously talking about everything revolving around Jey Uso. Just letting them get a few sentences out so we know exactly what's going through their heads during the night is nice to see, and I'm hoping that's a continuing thing that we see moving forward, because if you want us to take this group seriously, you don't always have to have Seth or Paul Heyman talk. We want to hear from these other guys, because we want to know that they have a voice, where if they want to step in and do something, we want to hear from them. If they have a big match with so-and-so person in the near future, let's say it's a tag team title opportunity or something along the lines of that, or maybe they go after a mid-card title, or whatever the case may be, just in general. Let's say they're in a big match. We want them to build that match. We don't want Seth building the match from them. We don't want Paul Heyman building the match from them. If they want to be there by their side and everything because they're a group, that's a different story, but at least allow them to stand on their 2 legs. And we know Bron Breakker can cut a promo. We know Bronson Reed can cut a promo. Let them talk, because what they said here made sense and they were able to do what they wanted tonight. So again, like you guys, this is a plus for me, because this is something I really wanted from the group, and I'm happy this is something that Triple H decided to put into this group, because it was definitely needed.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. And especially kind of seeing like the different reasons that they're both Bronson and Braun like aligning themselves with Seth. So like again with Bronson Reed, there's like a mutual respect now between the 2, because it's like, oh, you actually took me out. Like I'm Seth freaking Rollins. I'm one of the best in the company, and you took me out for a bit.
That's respect.
Okay. Yeah, respect, dude. Yeah, applause all around. And with Bron Breakker, I mean, yeah, again, he's kind of the future of the business. So why not join in with two people like Seth and Paul Heyman to really boost your stock? Yeah. And plus they both get a free pass to kind of beat some people up and cause some destruction, and they have some people to kind of hold their like watch their backs too as they're doing that. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great opening segment. You still have the crowd chanting CM Punk, so they obviously want him to come back. They want him to be like the savior towards Seth's group here, which I still want a name for him. I mean, I've seen a few names going around. I mean, I threw in Seth and the Bronze, but also like Braun in the Rollins bunch. But I think one I saw, I saw it from JD. He was the first one I saw it from. The whole Seth Riders.
Yeah, Seth Riders. Which I fuck with. I fuck with the Seth Riders.
I'm like, oh man, they're better than the Death Riders. I'll say that at least right now. But you know, we'll have to see how that all plays out. But yeah, strong opening segment. Again, we are here Monday Night Rollins once again. I know Vash, you have been somebody that loves when we get that like Monday Night Rollins thing, or like whenever the world champion comes out to do that and all that. So I'm sure you loved when he said that line.
I was, because I love how he didn't speak. He literally said, well, you know, they said, oh, I need to say, so the one thing I should say, welcome to Monday Night. And to me, that's respectable. Like, that's why I like when Rhea said it, or when Gunther shows up in the middle or at the end of the show. Like, at least they show him throughout the show, at least for tonight and everything. And I know we'll talk about more. I can't wait to hear your thoughts about that segment. But when it comes to Rollins, he did that, and it just felt natural. It just felt like he knows how to control the crowd. You're a man of a 20-year experience, and you know what you're doing with the crowd, with the audience. You know how to, in a way, you know how to milk them, and that's the best part of it. And like he said it, he started the show, and the way you start the show is kind of how you lead with the rest of the night. You did with the hype, and then it just continued on going. Like, honestly, this night did not feel boring, but it didn't feel like off the wall. It just felt consistent throughout the whole night, and that's what I appreciated.
Yeah, and I mean there were a couple lulls here that we'll get into, but that's later on here. We at least started off pretty hot, and yeah, our first match tonight. Well, I say match, but it was a quote unquote match, if you will. Sami Zayn taking on Bron Breakker. So before this match, we had Sami Zayn in the back talking with Jackie Redmond, and she's asking, "Hey, you know, how's your mind going into all this? Why are you doing all this?" And Sami, he wishes he could be focused on like his match or on his ribs or on Karrion Kross, but unfortunately, there's too much going on right now. He's kind of scatterbrained a little bit. Like he has to deal with everything all at once. And it's kind of getting to him a little bit. You know, he's not a character that really like outwardly expresses or at least outwardly shows that he's struggling, because he's the ultimate underdog. So he's going to, you know, push through and try to rise above it all. So after he's done with this little thing with Jackie Redmond, Scarlett comes up and she just kind of walks up to Jackie. Jackie gets a nice, good look at her outfit. And then she's like, well, what are you looking at? And Scarlett's just like, oh, nothing. Sami makes his entrance and Kross attacks him with the pipe again. And so Sami's already going into this match pretty weak. Any thoughts on this Karrion Kross beatdown segment beforehand? Because like very akin to last week, it's just we're kind of just playing upon that, using this as our driving force for this Sami Zayn Karrion Kross storyline going forward. But any thoughts with Karrion like continuing the attack this week?
Yeah, I want them to do something with it eventually, because here's the thing. When we discussed the Night of Champions PLE, we both brought up that if Sami lost that match, it wouldn't even dent him at all. Wouldn't even leave a scratch. Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, it happened, we moved on. And the reason why I bring that up is because he needs to capitalize on something, because we can't keep doing these promo segments. We can't keep doing these run-ins of him and Sami again, because I don't want it to be one of those situations where it's like, okay, he gets another shot at Sami and then he ends up losing again, because obviously there's something there. He's making them money, even though we can't really take that into account anymore because of what happened with R-Truth a couple months ago. But it's like, there's something there that you need to do with the character in order to have the character evolve. And this is like one of my biggest gripes when it comes to misuse. And this doesn't just go for wrestling. This goes with movies. I mean, if I want to give an example, like with Nintendo has a lot of IPs under their belt. They only focus on Mario, Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, Metroid, etc., so on. Star Fox, bye-bye. F-Zero, bye-bye. Kid Icarus, bye-bye. There's a lot of other stars that you can make into even bigger stars if you push them more, if you get them out there more to interact with the audience and everything. Karrion Kross, good promo. He's a good enough wrestler. You don't necessarily need to be the most amazing wrestler in the world to connect with the audience. So it's like, please do something with him. That's what I want to see, because I just see so much in the guy. The guy has the entrance. He has the voice for it and everything. It's like, we need to do something here. Like, whatever, like, Sami's done with the whole Seth Ryder's vortex, I'm just going to use that term for the show. Throw him a bone and do something else so we can get something going with Karrion Kross, because you do another match with Karrion Kross and Sami, which probably will happen sooner or later. I would put him over, and then you can go from there, because Sami Zayn's he's not like a small guy. He's a pretty big deal. He's one of the main eventers on the show. Put Kross over, evolve his character, do whatever you want to do next to see where it goes, because he spoke on grappling. We don't know his contract situation. We're going to be finding out exactly what's going on in the beginning of August. Do something. Do not. I hate untapped potential, because I do see a lot of things for this guy. So I'm hoping they do something, and that's why I wanted to chime in there, because it just gets ridiculous after a while when you see the same thing over and over again. Which I talked about this as Vash when we were watching Raw together, which I'll touch on a little bit later. But it's like, you either do something or you just don't bother with it at all. Like, don't tease people if you're not going to do anything at all, because that's not nice.
Yeah, no, I don't like getting teased. I don't like people tickling my pickle and all that. Like, I don't like that at all. Like, just give me what I want. Like, as Batista said years ago, give me what I want. But we'll put a pause on that little untapped potential discussion for later on, because I'm glad you said something, because I hope it's where I want to talk about that as well. But like, into the match, I mean, again, quote unquote match, it's really not much of a match, because Bron Breakker just comes out, easily wears down Sami Zayn. Targeting the ribs after a midair spear. After I'm still going to call it an overhead spear when he's like on the outside and he goes around, because I mean, I missed that camera shot. Why aren't you guys doing the overhead camera?
The overhead shot was my favorite. It was the best, just to watch him go around. Like, yo, I get it, cameraman. I get it, steady cam. I get it. That's your job. But just let the one overhead shot just be the work, and just boom, call it a day, man. That shit was beautiful. Still missing.
Yeah. So just play around with the camera shots again. That'll be great. That really revitalized the product when you guys were doing that. But yeah, so Braun hit, those two spears and his super spear in the ring, ends the match, puts Sami Zayn out to pasture. That expiration date was apparently tonight. So, RIP Sami Zayn, July 7th, 2025 was the day he was felled by a very feral Bron Breakker. Like, that man, he's getting a little more ridiculous with his like little freakouts that he has, where he's just like, like he was spitting tonight, like legitimately spitting. Like, I think Michael Cole put it best on commentary, where he's just like, Bron Breakker was foaming at the mouth tonight towards Sami Zayn. But I mean, anything you guys have to mention about like this pseudo squash match that we had?
I mean, I
comment I had, because no, go ahead, drop.
All I was gonna say, it's not gonna be much, but it's like I saw it coming. Like, as soon as Kross was there and attacked them, like, okay, you're gonna have him go in there, Bron Breakker. He's gonna do a couple things in there, and then the match is gonna be over. Like you said, not much of a match. he honestly wouldn't make any sense if you really won it, because I mean, I'd be lying if I said this. I kid you not, I thought they were gonna do some underdog shit for him, but like once we started that
Yeah, I
match.
thought he was gonna win.
Or
I
like
thought he was
have it
gonna win
win.
with
Yeah, like have it win somehow, like with a Blue Thunder,
Yeah.
or like just come out unexpectedly.
Yeah,
random roll up or something. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm glad it turned out the way it did. And yeah, that's all I have to really say about that. I mean, you kind of have to keep doing this with the group if you want them to be taken seriously, ranking up those wins, doing something with them. So it's like it made a lot of sense. And knowing Bron Breakker, the amount of damage he puts on someone, and knowing what Sami Zayn's condition is, I mean, I would hope he just set the lights.
Yeah.
Like my only comment about this is like, yo, Scarlett, gorgeous. When it comes to Sammy, yo, you are pushing and helping Karrion Kross. You're the perfect person to help this. My question is that you should have lost Night of Champions to make this feel more. Well, he did win, so that's why Karrion Kross is still kind of going after him. So like, it will make sense why he won, and then to have Karrion Kross still, trying to hunt him down. But it just feels a bit not forced. Like, all right, Karrion Kross, like we heard you in the version of the VPN. The whole crowd, the 10,000 people out there, was literally screaming your name and saying, "We want Kross." The fans want you. The audience, the team, the merch of the T-shirts. We are showing it that we want you. But now I'm curious to know where the book is going to show, because right now Sammy is, gone for who knows how long in the story wise and everything. So like, what's Karrion Kross going to do next? Because right now, during that backstage interview with Jackie, he said that he still wants Sammy. So I'm like, Kerry, did you not see literally him being out indefinitely? Did you not hear that report yet, or did it not pass to you yet? So that's my only comment. One break in the match was literally straightforward. It was an obvious thing. Like Watkins said, I missed my overhead shot. It was fucking amazing. But they got one down person. We'll have two more people to talk about. Who else got kicked out or might be taken out indefinitely?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about indefinitely. I mean, if like maybe 4 more tsunamis happened, maybe, but
I would have preferred that. I can't wait for us to complain about it, because I have that complaint.
Yeah. But we kind of transition now, because now it's going to be Bronson Reed's turn, but we do have a little bit of a backstage segment because, like you said, we got news through a very sad Paul Heyman, mind you, that Sami Zayn is out indefinitely for a little bit. But like, there's a little bit of interesting little caveats here as well, because like, you kind of have Bron Breakker sitting here along with along with Seth Rollins, and Braun's actually kind of, I struggle saying the word worry, but there's a thought in him being like, I don't want people thinking that I couldn't beat Sami Zayn without Karrion Kross's help. Like, I don't like that. I want to be able to win things on my own. So, like, just like what we were talking about earlier, one of us made the comment about how these guys don't really need each other for a match to win a match. They're guys that like will go out there on their own, or I mean, at least with Paul Heyman, and get whatever job they have done out there. So it's good to see that Braun is trying to have that mentality of, I need to be out here to do what I need to do and all that. So
I have a comment about that. I have a comment about it, because did you also notice how Seth Rollins said, "Don't worry about Karrion Kross"? Like he was trying to shove that kind of thought away. And remember a couple months ago when the Seth group first started, we said, imagine one of the people that joined Seth could be Karrion Kross. Imagine Karrion Kross has been working in the back for Paul and Seth without being told to Bron or Bronson Reed yet.
I wouldn't be too opposed to it. I just don't see it really happening. I think with Kross, it'll be better to kind of have him separate, because the last time he was in a group, it went nowhere. With him and everybody else. But yeah, like any thoughts on like this Bron Breakker part? Because like, again, at least with me, how I interpret it is just like, okay, he's just getting the mindset of here. And like with Seth's comment that you had made or mentioned, Vash, to me, I kind of took it as like, okay, take the opportunity while it's there. Like, yeah, people are gonna
True.
talk, they're gonna say their shit and all that, but like at the end of the day, a W is a W. And you went out there, you said you were gonna maul Sami Zayn, or I forgot what the actual word that Braun used, but you did the job, you got it done. Great, awesome. Bronson Reed, it's your turn and all that. But Rob, what do you think about this backstage segment?
I felt like, I don't know. I mean, it's probably the same thing you said. I mean, they
Mhm.
got their W. That's what they're really here to do. They're here to rack up wins. They're here to be taken seriously. So it's like there's not much to really say beyond that because they're just trying to get rid of all these people that keep coming after them. And if I was in
Yeah.
charge of a group like that, regardless how I do it, I mean, the way that they came in and did what they needed to do in order to progress and just focus on what they want to do, which is finding the right time to cash in that money in the bank contract to get whatever
Mhm.
championship Seth Rollins decides to go after. I mean, they're doing what they really need to do. Like, because I'm not
Yeah.
expecting like super heavy competitive matches. Well, main event was great. That was a competitive
Mhm.
match, but we'll obviously touch on that. But it's like they just basically what I said. Honestly, they're just,
Yeah.
to them really they're just little tiny henchmen, little fodder that you tend to run in when you like start a video game. So
Mhm.
it's kind of how I
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, so I mean, Bronson Reed's job here is to take out Jey Uso. And that doesn't necessarily mean winning a match. It's just, hey, take out Jey Uso. Just you have the advantage of having a match. And Jay comes out in his normal yeeting attire and yeeting with the crowd, and it seems like they actually kind of maybe listen to us for once. And we're just like, yeah, we'll keep the yeeting going during the commercial break. So that way, the people in attendance get like that extra little boost with it. And then us at home, we don't have to sit through like an encore of the yeeting, because that's the thing. That stuff's mainly for the live crowd. Let the live crowd enjoy
Yeah.
that part. Us at home, I mean, unless we're having like a party with it or something, or like a watch through party, we're not going to be doing most of that stuff anyways.
Hell no.
Yeah. I mean, the match part itself was okay. It was really just like Jay laying in a lot of hits, a lot of super kicks. Um, and at one point, Bronson Reed ending up on like Corey Graves' chair and getting kicked and rolled back. And Bronson Reed gets disqualified because he freaking threw the office chair at Jay. That's one of my favorite spots. Like, Drop, you might remember this. Vash, I don't know if you've seen like gifs or anything of this, where um Braun Strowman. Oh my god, another Braun. Oh my god. When Braun Strowman was having a feud with Roman Reigns back in like 2016, 2017, the man literally, like, with lack of a better word, yeeted an office chair to like Roman's face, and Roman like sold it like he basically died. Nah, that shit was great. So I always love when we get that spot, and we got that spot tonight. So yes, awesome. And then Bronson Reed goes up. He hits not one, but two tsunamis. And then Pierce and all the other people come out, try to stop Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed stops. I was expecting maybe one, if not two more tsunamis after that. That might be more of a nitpick than thing, because like I guess the more I think about it, the more I kind of talk about it. I'm like, okay, they kind of learned from when Bronson Reed hit Seth with 6 tsunamis. They're like, okay, no, he's going up. He went up for a second one. Now we need to stop this before he tries to hit a third and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth. And pray to God he never hits a seventh straight one on somebody. Um, but yeah, Vash, it sounded like you had some complaints to go on with this. What you got for me? What
I
you got?
wanted more. I wanted more destruction.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. I would have loved more destruction.
Bro, it was like he did one tsunami and then just like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do one more, and then everyone came out. I'm like, cool, 6 tsunamis, you don't got to. I'm not asking for you to murder the guy. I'm not asking you to take him out for the next 3 months. Just do like a second one, third, that's it. I'm not asking for 5, maybe 7, 8. No, I love Jey. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. But at least a second or third to make it be like, yo, you need to take out Jey. Fucking Bronson took out Sami with the assist. From Karrion Kross, he took him out with a whole rolling a spear. We took him out from a super spear. Like, that's like 3 spears.
Yeah.
But Bronson took him with one tsunami. I guess a 300-pounder type of person, jumping on you is worse than 3 spears. I don't know. Pat McAfee could do all the math and the fractions and all the elephant sizes and weights, but to me, it would have been better with like a second tsunami. That's what, to make it more feel believable if we don't see Jey next week or 2 weeks from now just because he got taken out.
Well, he did 2 tsunamis.
All right, then a third or fourth one would have been nice.
Yeah. Sorry, the Steiner math is hard. I know. I get that. I understand.
Exactly.
That, you only have a 33 and a third % chance to survive against Seth Rollins' group, and that's on a good day.
Yeah.
But what about you, Drop? I'm just gonna call this a segment. It really wasn't a match. Like, really looking at tonight, we may have only got 2 legit matches tonight.
Yeah, the next one
3.
for sure.
3,
the next one for sure that we'll talk about, like Seth and Penta for sure.
Oh yeah. But what about this segment with Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed?
So, I mean, like you said itself, Bronson's mission statement in this match was just to take out Jey Uso. So then you had them going for a little bit. He hit him with the chair. He ended up landing the 2 tsunamis. And like, here's the way I look at it, because we talk about this all the time when it comes to making moments feel special. I feel like one of the moments they might have not have done more tsunamis is because they don't want it to become repetitive after a while. Because let's say, for example, you see like him doing 5 or 6 tsunamis like every single week. The moment doesn't really feel special anymore. So I feel like if it's a big moment, like let's say, for example, we're at SummerSlam. Seth's cashing in. Whatever happens with the John and Cody match. Let's say Cody wins the match. You got Seth and his boys come out. You got Bron Breakker doing his spears, and then you just have Bronson Reed load Cody with 5 to 6 to 7 tsunamis. When it comes to something like that, that's a big moment because that's when Seth's cashing in. If it's somebody at like another pedestal that's like a pretty big guy that's like legit, like another high superstar on the card, not talking about size, just talking about, another big guy. Like, let's say Randy was there. Right. Okay, something like that would be cool, or whatever it is. I feel like it just needs to make sense when it happens, whenever they do it, because like when it comes to the Sami and Bron Breakker match and the Bronson Reed and Jey ones, I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I did not care about them as much as the Seth one, because the Seth one felt like a match. It got me invested. The other 2 was just beating up people, and that's it. Yeah. So I didn't get emotionally invested in it compared to other things that happened in the show. So that's personally like how I look at it, because I'm like, they just want to kick these guys' asses. They don't keep running out and interrupting all the time. So it's like, whatever, I'll follow your lead and I'll have that same mindset as you. So that's honestly how I feel about this whole thing right here. So it's like, you got rid of Jey for the time being, whatever. Okay, move on and, do what you need to do next. But.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agreed. So far they are 2 for 2 tonight. Can they make it 3 for 3 as Seth Rollins took on Penta? So again, we had a backstage segment before this. Vash, what did Paul Heyman say to Penta exactly?
I don't remember from the top of my head, but he was trying to persuade him like, hey, you don't gotta do this because the way I felt Paul Heyman was speaking and the way he gave me that body language, I felt like he was trying to speak like the Godfather, but in the Spanish type of way, because the way he was just being like, look, Penta, my son, you gotta understand, we don't need to do this. You've done very good on your own. We could work together. That's what I remember the top of my head. I could be paraphrasing, chat. I don't remember. I was trying to look for the exact things in the meantime while I was trying to find it through Twitter and everything, but it didn't give me the exact clip that I was trying to find when Paul Heyman spoke. But that's what I remember. But I'm shocked Paul Heyman was speaking Spanish, but not too shocked because he literally is surrounded by pro wrestlers all the time, and he literally has been doing it for 40 years. So him speaking Spanish did not throw me off the wall. Like a few people on my town, like, oh my God, says when does Paul Heyman speak Spanish? I'm like, yeah, really that shocked that he speaks Spanish. Not that shocking to me.
Yeah, not shocking at all. Yeah, I really like this, and especially, I don't understand why Penta had to fight back, especially on the day of Paul Heyman's daughter's wedding, But hey, at least he has a good old dog there to help protect him and be like, hey, I don't know what you said, but I don't like your tone because I don't like anything tonight because Bron Breakker again is player hater number 1 tonight, and yeah, he basically just barks at Penta. Penta walks away and just like, yeah, okay, walk away. Bet. So off to the match, off to the races we go, especially at the beginning of this match. Like Penta really just like started early on with Rollins. Seth did kind of duck the slap at the outside of the ring, but I mean, again, Penta's just firing on all cylinders tonight, like Hurricane Ranas, like counters after counters and all that. Seth even pulling out some stuff too, like the fact that Seth, of all people, like maybe somebody can kind of correct me too, either one of you guys or in the comments or anything, not many people kick out of the Penta driver or the Mexican Destroyer anymore, but especially the Penta driver. Like that felt like a very protected, like, finishing move when Penta came into the company. So for Seth to even kick out of that move, holy crap, holy freaking butt crackers, everybody, because I can't tell if I want to keep things PG or rated R around here when it comes to language, but that's besides the point. With that, Seth ended up grabbing the ropes after the Mexican Destroyer, and an inadverted quote unquote headbutt to the nads ended up giving Seth the advantage he needed to hit the curb stomp, win the match, and put one over on Penta, and they're about to destroy Penta. LA Knight comes out for the save, and that basically ends our show for the night for Saturday night's main event. The match itself, I thought, was pretty dang good. I want them to run it back again with a few more stakes involved, but just what we got tonight gave me enough to be like, yeah, give me more of this. I want more of Penta versus Seth for any title on anywhere in the card. Hell, again, this main event of Raw, this could main event of BLE. Like, given the right circumstances, it could rightfully main event like a B-level pay-per-view or something. But Vash, what did you think of the match?
Penta and everything was amazing. I do agree that I would love to see them redo this match, if that is the right word for it. It was something that I really enjoyed of them going back and forth. Seth trying to do the stomp, I think at least twice he tried to do it. If I remember the count. And they had good chemistry. There's a few people that I feel like would have a better chemistry if they have like a rematch. One that we're gonna talk about at the end. But I really appreciate about this match just seeing what went along with next at the end, because I knew that if Penta lost, Seth was gonna continue attacking Penta. But then I'm like, who's gonna help him when already Jay's taken out and Sami can take out? I honestly forgot LNL was gonna show up, so that was something that, not saying a good surprise, but it was something. Oh, I forgot about you. Good, you show up. You came here, did your thing, and this man was so over the crowd. Whenever this man LNL wins his damn world champion bout, the crowd of the arena is gonna go bonkers online. I know us three are gonna be on this, but like LA Knight, yeah. So I know it's gonna be amazing when the time comes. But with Penta. Also, this is not even the first time that he has main evented for the Night Raw. So it's nice to see Penta also working along with Seth Rollins. I can't wait to see a second match. I know he did a cool move. I think Penta did it, and it was sold so well from Seth. I think it was the Hurricane. I can't pronounce it right. The Hurricaneana. I believe it was.
Oh, the
Hurricanrana.
Hurricanrana.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was done so well.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, Seth knows how to sell. Like he's a good seller.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the fact him and Penta creating magic in there, or creating some sort of chemical reaction, if you will, if you know the blue lock, so blue lock, no, blue box, blue lock. I always get the two mixed up. Drop before I continue to mix up my anime series. What'd you think of the match?
Well, first off, Blue Box is an amazing series. So I'm just happy to hear that referenced. And
Blue Lock.
And the show's Blue Lock.
Yeah,
well, Blue Box is good too.
Yes.
From the one episode I watched, it was good.
But when it comes to the match itself, I mean, if I'm going to be comparing it to Blue Box, I mean, Seth, Penta, they had good choreography when it comes to how they worked with each other in the ring, because that was something I really liked, because I wanted a fresh opponent for Penta. And I like how Penta's been being treated, because this has been a common theme in WWE for a couple of years now when it comes to a lot of the luchadors that they brought in the past. They didn't really get as much recognition. Like, they're probably on some part of the show, but they're only in there for 2 to 3 minutes or so. But I like how ever since Penta came into the company, he's been pushed pretty hard, and he's involved with the main eventers right now. Like, he's involved in a main event program when it comes to the lead faction on Monday Night Raw. He's working alongside Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, which are two other key players on that show. So I like how Penta's able to main event on Monday Night Raw. He's able to go up against a veteran like Seth Rollins that works very well with his opponents. And I just really love this. I just want to see more of these guys in the ring. Hopefully they can revisit this in the future. Maybe it's another competitive match. Maybe there's a title on the line, which would be pretty cool. Add some stakes in there. Whatever the case might be, I really want to see more of these guys. And I also just like how this is a common theme with Seth Rollins. He just seems to always work well with a lot of people. So I really do like how these guys were able to just read each other so well in the ring. But definitely a lot of my favorite spots was a lot. There was a lot of I will say there actually were a couple close calls. I kid you not. I thought Penta was gonna get a W here, because it's one of those things where it brings you into the match. Like I mentioned earlier, this was the match that really brought me in there to feel everything that was going on, and there was a lot of close calls. I loved the Hurricanrana. I loved the way that they were just countering each other, because it's they knew the other guy was trying to set him up to finish him off, but they didn't want that to happen, so they countered it with something else, and they still kicked out anyway. But yeah, I mean, we know Penta loves doing the Cero Miedo, but he needs to wait for the right time to do that sometimes, because Seth Rollins was able to get the upper hand with that, and he was able to pull out the 1, 2, 3 in advance, which, again, even though I said Penta, I did believe Penta could have potentially won this match. I did know in the end Seth Rollins more than likely was going to win to continue the momentum with this new group that they're pushing right now. But still, all in all, I mean, this was a really good match, and it was definitely a very good choice for a main event, because both of these guys work very well. It's something new we haven't seen before yet. They've teased it for a bit. They haven't really gotten to it until now. So I like that.
Yeah. I think it was Corey Graves on commentary. He made a comment. He's just you're only allowed maybe one mistake against Seth, because he will capitalize on anything. And if you make one mistake, you're done. And Penta, unfortunately, he made a couple, with the whole slap to the corner, kind of injuring his hand right there, and then you had mentioned, kind of pressing on that right D-pad just a little too much to do a taunt and all that. Yeah, you got caught doing all that. And so how do you guys? Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have one more comment, because I like what Jar brought up, that one moment that I did think he was gonna win as well is when Penta was in the corner, and I noticed that fucking Seth grabbed the rope. But in my head, I'm like, oh shit, Penta's actually about to win at that moment. But obviously, Seth grabbed the rope, but like that was a close call because I didn't expect that one. It was still nonetheless cool to see, and I do agree that there's a few moments I thought Penta was gonna win. I didn't expect him to win because, like Corey Graves said it during commentary, that if Penta wins, this will look bad on Seth since he's gonna be versing LA Knight in the weekend. You know, the whole momentum. So this was a good call, but agree on the match.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I had to grab a pillow. My back is a little stiff tonight. Oh my god. There we go. All right. Good. We're good now, everybody. We're good now, folks. Yeah, and then LA Knight coming out at the end, kind of getting one over on Seth, one over on the architect, on the man making all the plans and all that. Making LA Knight look strong going into Saturday night, but I mean, as you'll probably hear on Thursday, it's more than likely going to be Seth pulling out that victory on Saturday, but
Oh yeah.
we'll cross that road when we cross it. Again, I thought it was a good match. It we also are kind of protecting Penta a little bit more with the inadvertent low blow, quote unquote. I kind of like this too because like they kind of blocked it in a way where it was you could brush it off as an accident. So that's why I'm glad like the ref was like, okay, well, all right, it was an accident, blah blah blah, whatever. But we got the little moment where like he went to go check on Penta, and Seth just like turns the camera and he's just like, like giving his little Seth Rollins laugh and all that. So yeah, great to see. Great main event. Seth and his team looking strong, even though LA Knight coming through. Just again, you can only make one mistake against these top tier talents, and LA Knight caught you on a mistake. There, good old Rollins boy. So let's move on now. We're done with our headline segment. That was our main through line of Raw. Let's talk about all the other stuff that went on with this show. And we're going to keep this one as short as a Goldberg match because it's all about the World Heavyweight title. Gunther taking on Goldberg at Saturday night's main event. Hey, Gunther's out here to cut another promo, but no, he's not. Goldberg's actually here because he's not afraid of no ghosts. So he's coming in with his red sports car. He makes a beeline for the ring, like walking very fast, like he's actually walking. He's not like limping too much, but he's kind of gassed when he gets up there. And after he hits Gunther once and tries to go for a spear, but that's neither here nor there. That's our build for Saturday. It's all hype,
Great.
no build. Yay. that I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for it to be done.
Yeah,
Just
it's basically one of those things where it's like, okay, we know you want to plan something special because you're having a lot of these legends to return during this weekend, which relates to the comment that we got on the chat earlier when it talks about Goldberg, the Bella Twins, Trish Stratus. I actually don't mind seeing Trish Stratus. I actually do like her. But
Trish, yes.
Yeah, that's the one I really don't. That actually does not bother me at all. But it's like it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, you have Goldberg here. You're advertising him to have his final match. I mean, here you go, and that's all she wrote, really. So I mean, I'm actually trying to keep it. As soon as you mentioned, I'm actually trying to keep my response as short as possible for a Goldberg match too, because really isn't much to say here. You just come out there taunting the guy, and see you on Saturday.
Yeah, probably have more to say on Saturday when we talk about the match itself, because I mean it'll be Goldberg's last match, so obviously there'll be something to say about that. Depending on quality as well. But Vash, any comments on this nothing burger of a segment?
No, I don't give a fuck about this match at all.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is one thing I would not be positive or optimistic about. Us do not give a flying F about this match at all. Gunther, I do care about you, but you just look what's the word we used last week, Monday? That you guys said, weak, a punk, or what was the one?
Oh, I know a word. It's something that Frieza called Vegeta on Namek.
I forgot.
during the abridged series. He called him a little bitch because he was crying like one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
that's
this man, like,
kinda
Oh,
what
I
you're
Gunther
going to
looks
look
like.
over,
Oh.
you're going to just roll over, just walk away, look like, oh, almost got speed, I got punched by him. Not, bro, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. I never was a fan for Goldberg. I never give a fuck about Goldberg. That's all I got. I don't care about this match one bit.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's actually a good leeway to our next segment. Now that you mentioned bitch.
Oh, is
Damn.
it ever? Because we're now in our mid-card stories. We've got Becky Lynch here. We're gonna start with the women's IC
Yeah.
title because it was announced, I think, yesterday in an online post.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it
was
was.
mentioned yesterday that Becky will now defend her women's IC championship against both Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. So that is now official for Evolution this weekend. That might end up becoming match of the night on Sunday. That's just my early bold prediction. I don't know how bold it is, but considering the talent in there and the story going into it, hey, good on you, WWE. But Becky, she's here. She ends up running into the War Raiders and the New Day backstage, who are talking to Pierce. Just a little quick side note with that. They're talking to Pierce about the tag titles. There's a little bit of back and forth, but hey, the New Day are in mourning right now, even though it's the evening, but that's neither here nor there. They're grieving because of the loss of the tag team division. And Becky Lynch just shows up. She's just like, you know what? You guys are smart. My condolences to your loss. And hey, good thing you guys got rid of Big E because that was the best decision y'all made. So she's also joining Bron Breakker tonight in the Player Haters Club. So Becky makes her way to the ring because she's got a promo time and all that. And why she poses the question of why the other champions who will be at Evolution 2, why did they get to pick their opponents? Why didn't Becky get a chance to pick her opponent? She's already beaten both Bailey and Lyra, so why does she have to fight them not only again, but in a triple threat match? It's a conspiracy, I tell you. We're lucky she wasn't wearing a tinfoil hat tonight, but whatever. That's besides the point. Out comes Bailey. She's walking to the ring. She's gonna respond to Becky. And then before she can even get to even close to the steps, out comes Lyra Valkyria, who just interrupts Bailey's whole entrance, bumps into Bailey, and then starts bitching and moaning to Becky. I got comments on Lyra's portion in all this, but yeah, some words were said about the between all three of them. Kind of Becky too, playing. I love how she kind of plays both sides a little bit, but mainly towards Bailey, where she's like, oh, yeah, I may have called Lyra to be like, hey, I'll be your tag team partner for WrestleMania and getting the tag titles. Yeah, she may have called Lyra to do that, but apparently Lyra, she didn't hesitate. She didn't be like, "Oh, I'll think about it." No, she was just like, "Yes, do it," and all that. And I like that aspect of it. But Lyra, she has to save the title from these two disappointments, apparently. And that's when Bailey comes in. She's just like, wait, hold on. I sat over there in that seat watching you win the IC title, and I watched you become a double champion at WrestleMania. And then I watch you lose that one title to Becky and raise her hand like a little bitch, because that is the one word that we have to let our female talents use to really get under somebody's skin, is the word bitch. That just sparks a big old brawl where Lyra Valkyria stands tall after hitting both of them with a Nightwing.
And
I
I
thought,
believe the words by Watkins that he said all the time, when the champion is, or sorry, not champion, when the person, the opponent is holding the title and standing tall, means you're now winning next week.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I thought overall the promo segment was strong because it's Bailey and Becky. They're pretty damn good on the mic. Lyra, she's getting better.
Yes,
My
yes.
my one thing with Lyra though, she comes across as I don't know what the right comparison or the right words would be to kind of compare Lyra, but she's very annoying right now. Like her character is very annoying, and what I mean by that is I think it just kind of stems from like a couple weeks ago when Bailey and Becky had their title match, and she just inserted herself. Like she kept saying that Bailey was doing that when now Lyra does that, and now she's coming out here saying all this other stuff, like pretty much going back on how she felt towards Bailey and Becky going into like the tag team matches and all that. But now that they've just like slapped her away because of her actions, oh no, you guys are bitches. You guys are bitches too. I don't like you. I should have listened to everybody. It's just like, girl, it's professional wrestling. People are gonna backstab you all the time. It's all about the gold at the end of the day. And even Bailey's just like, yeah, no, I'm done with teams. I'm done with being friends. I'm done with that. I just want the gold and all that. I don't know. Lyra's just I don't know if that's by design on Lyra just coming off unlikable here, at least for me, but I don't know. I'm not digging it unless she's gonna have a heel turn and all that, but yeah, this is kind of making my pick for Sunday a little easier, but Vash, go ahead and
Hi.
talk to me. What do you think of this?
Look, so one, Bailey and Becky, there are two superstars that literally have been called for horsewomen. That has been already been told within Charlotte Flair and Mercedes Moné, or her old name was Sasha Banks. So these were the four ladies that are still holding up the women's wrestling. Mercedes Moné is doing her thing in AEW, but then when it comes to to Becky Lynch and Bailey, amazing promo for what they do, what they're talking about, venting their feelings. I love Becky. Her being a heel is funny. Because even when she came out, Adam Pearce saying that, yo, you make bad decisions. I don't like what you did. How is it that you chose my opponents for me? Two losers that lost against themselves. And I love how she said it on the ring. She said, this doesn't even happen in pro wrestling. How can two people lose against each other and then they go after me in the title? And they didn't even win. I love the complaint because it felt so real. It felt like actual type of bullshit thing to complain about. Like it felt like very genuine. Like, yo, they both lost to each other and now they're versing me against next week. Why? Like that's a real shit to complain about. Like that's a real bullshit to actually bring up.
Yeah.
But the most funniest bullshit is that she told the New Day, but you guys what you were right about? Big E was a scumbag, and just walk away.
Yeah. The best thing y'all did was get rid of Big E. I never liked him, anyways. Just like, oh, cool.
And just walk away. She's like, I never like him. They just laugh, and I'm like, I guess, sure.
Cool.
I don't know what Big E did to you, but I guess this is for the story. Yeah. But that was funny to see. But when it comes to with Lyra, not saying that I see your vision. I see where you're coming from. I see the perspective. I slightly agree, but I feel like this is the best way is that for her to learn the ropes right now. She literally is learning on the job. She's probably doing tutor, talking to Point Heyman. She's probably practicing acting throughout backstage or her off days that we don't know what she's doing. But on the mat where the audience is literally giving the feedback, us, the critics, are giving the feedback. The Twitter people, audience on the social media are doing the same thing in their own way. So when it comes to in this herself, I'm glad to know from 6 months ago to now, she has improved tremendously. Her body work and her facial has improved tremendously. And I have to remind myself, as somebody that watched her interview with Chris Van Light, that she said herself that she's still getting used to being on the mic and being in the middle of the ring. She's an introvert person and she doesn't like doing it, but that is part of her job. And I love how Chris said, like, I think you chose the wrong career when you're like this and you don't feel comfortable. Like, yeah, but I'm already here. So it just feels very natural and I'm happy for her because a lot of people will be hard to push themselves in this position. But for her to actually do that and choose that, like, hey, I'm going to push myself. I'm going to do what I can. And she's getting better. So I do agree. Lyra is not winning. Bailey, I don't think she's winning, and Becky's going to keep the belt and continue on, but I hope that this feud ends it here, we gotta move along. I hated that we recycle people within the same 2 or 3 months. Like, yo, all right, we move along. Let's not continue 6 months. I don't mind us coming back to it 2 months after that feud ended. We could come back, come back for in a different style. But let's not continue that. And that's I've noticed that's a bad habit from Triple H booking in his style. But that's the only thing we can do.
Okay. Well, as Vash gives his early predictions for Evolution 2, Drop, what do you think of this segment with everybody, like with Lyra interrupting Bailey and just kind of giving her like a little shoulder tap walking by, from Becky like stirring the pot between the two as well? Like, what do you think of everything? And I kind of want to hear your thoughts with like Lyra's character here, because like I don't know if you heard some of my comments with it.
No,
just like
I took the headphones off.
Okay, she for me at least, Lyra's coming off as very annoying, like, and I don't know if it's by design or not, because like, because I'm kind of on the side of like Bailey and Becky here, because it's just like, look, you had your shot, you lost it. Okay, great. You needed, have Bailey now. It's her shot, and then you insert yourself into her match, and you keep trying to like stir things up with Bailey now, where it's just like, just leave her alone, girl. Like she's kind of upset that you ruined her match for the IC title. Like, of course she's not going to talk to you for a week. Like, yeah, no matter how many times you're going to try to reach out, whatever. But like, I don't know if this is by design, because like one thing commentary did mention like near the end of it is just how like more intense Lyra's been getting. So I don't know if this is all leading towards a heel turn or not, which I don't know if I would want a heel turn quite yet, just because like it would feel like the shows are becoming very heel heavy at that point. But go ahead and talk to me about this segment. What you thought of it, between like the three women and all that, and of course Lyra standing on top. If that gave you any indication on how Sunday is going to go.
So when it comes to Sunday, I mean, we'll talk about it more on Thursday, but I think it's kind of obvious Becky's winning. You just throw in two girls at her that have a common goal. They want the belt. Throw them in there with Becky. You can vent all the frustration there. But Becky's walking out with the title. But we'll talk more about that on Thursday. But when it comes to like this whole segment itself, again, I'm glad we had it, because I at least want acknowledgement of it, regardless if it's good or bad. I just at least want it there, even though I didn't really care about the Goldberg and Gunther thing. I still wanted it there, just so they're showing that they actually care to talk about it, even if it's for a little bit or whatever. But I mean, like, the whole thing in itself, you got this whole thing going on with Bailey and Becky that they were diving into ever since WrestleMania. And then you were getting a little bit of history there behind the scenes that I was a little curious about when it came to the whole thing of like, okay, what happened after Bailey got attacked, like the whole call situation between her and Becky. And then you find out like, oh yeah, she didn't hesitate at all whenever I decided to team up with her. So I thought that was interesting, because I was very curious to see like, okay, where did this lead up besides the call? So knowing how she didn't really hesitate or anything, could have been desperation because she was in a match or whatever. But I guess that was, a little cool to point out there. But it's like, I get the whole thing when it comes to like Lyra feeling a little bit annoying, or any Lyra feeling like a little annoying. But the way I look at it personally is I feel like, compared to the two girls that she's going up against, she's not as experienced to them. So that could have been that could have been a reason why she feels that way, because it's like you got two veterans there. They know each other very well, because Bailey was like that years ago when she was like Hugger Bailey, inserting herself into a lot of situations. So it's like after a while, once Bailey's character evolved, she's not really like that anymore. She's more toned down. She's serious. That's why when people are like, oh, just switch Bailey's music back to how it was before. No, because good as the song sounded, because don't get me wrong, I've listened to that. jammed out to it every once in a while. But it's like her character's evolved so much, you can't really have that song on in the background. It could just be one of those things where maybe Lyra is trying to find her footing, or she's trying to figure out exactly where she stands when it comes to the next step of her character and everything. Because one of the very first things that they really wanted to do was to have people care, and that match and the matches she had with Becky helped people care. So that's the first step. Now they got to really figure out exactly, you know, what the rest of the roadmap is to really, you know, start pushing her a little bit more. But I do understand that, because I did felt that when it came to how the segment was put together when it comes to a couple lines or whatever. But it's like, the way I kind of look at the whole situation between her and Bailey, which is why I kind of call her like inexperienced, little newbie or whatever. You know, all the cool kids want to tell people online whenever they're trying to play a new game, they don't even know the buttons to. Pretty much just one of those things where it's like, it kind of reminds me of like some high school shit, or it's like, oh, you're like hanging out for friend, you don't hear from them for a bit, they ghost you. That's kind of what it reminds me of, this like whole Lyra and Becky thing. I mean, not Lyra and Becky thing, the Lyra and Bailey thing. So that's where I could see the little like annoying thing is, because you typically see that in high school. So maybe like she's going through a little high school girl arc or whatever. Maybe in her own little world, she's a little high school girl. I don't know, but it's like all I really want from this is for her to be involved with Becky and Bailey to help get a little bit more out of her, and hopefully whenever the time comes or whatever, I mean, we could see what happens beyond that point. But it's like Vash also said as well, you know, we got to really figure out exactly what we're doing beyond this, outside of the whole Becky and Lyra thing, because I want to see exactly what else comes out of this, because we're on the right path. Julia's now now that the title has Julia on SmackDown, hopefully we're getting a direction with this, but we have a direction with the IC title on Monday Night Raw. Let's just hope we can do more outside of these two ladies, because I want other girls to be factored in here outside of a Lyra and Bailey, because they can always have their shot at that title. It's not going away. But I want to at least see who else steps up to the plate too.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see some new, fresh faces in the IC title picture. Hopefully after, I don't know if it'll be after Evolution 2. They'll probably prolong this story, or at least part of it, towards SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
just
too.
depends on, you know, who in this triple threat will get the sidearm from it, you know, who's not going to be involved with it, which is going to suck when that happens. But I mean, I guess pick your poison at that point. But speaking of poison and toxicity, hey, we've got more with the Judgment Day going on.
Like
a good backstage segment here with like all of the members of the Judgment Day, just like they're polishing their titles. They got them all nice, neat, orderly, and all that. Raquel walks in. She's just like, "Hey guys, what's that?" And there's like a memorial shrine for Liv Morgan.
That was wilding. I was laughing when Raquel even did like Santa Maria for Jesus. I was like, bro, even doing like, yeah, you know, we're gonna have this for love, like, bro. Any ex or any girlfriend that disappears, they will get pissed. They're like, what the fuck you got a ceremony? I didn't die, bitch. I went to the hospital. I was literally out there recovering for 2-3 months. The fuck you thought I died? She got me laughing.
It was just a flesh wound. She'll be fine. She'll live. But I think what I like to with this part, or at least this part with like the Liv little memorial shrine, is that Raquel's just like, yeah, she's in rehab right now. She'll be back anytime soon. And Finn's just like, girl, you know, I was out for like 8 months. Like 8 months with my shoulder. It takes a while to, you know, come back from that. And it's just like, all right, cool, neat. We're continuing that. I like how we're continuing that. And then I guess the second part with this is Dom is given a cake. He thinks it's from JD and Finn, which I love how they perform that, like kind of together, almost like they're like brothers in a sense in this little dynamic of the Judgment Day. Or they're just like, wasn't us or anything. It was from AJ Styles. So we're going to continue, you know, pushing this feud until Dom is cleared by the doctors to actually defend his title, which, I mean, I thought when you got an injury, you had to drop the title because, you know, you have to defend it within 30 days. But you know, when it comes to these longer title reigns, we need to really have a conversation about current Triple H with titles and how those reigns go. But that's a whole
he
other...
focuses more on story. Like he has told us that he cares more about story than wrestling now. But I do agree that's more of a short form type of video content we should do, or have that as a topic of the week for grappling. But I love a favorite comment you brought up before we get into the actual match. This man, JD and Finn were fucking the best twin brothers for the good 5-10 seconds. They were amazing. How literally Dom like, hey, thanks for the cake. JD and Finn literally both said at the same time, that was you? No, that wasn't us. Like just those two lines just got me laughing, and just having AJ in the corner to be like, hey, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. I'm waiting until I get that approval. And I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. It's just like, I love it. It was so cute and everything. And I hope AJ's having fun, because I don't remember the last time AJ has been like fun other than this right now was when he did the last year where he lied about him retiring. So it's like, okay, so we're doing something different. And I love how AJ just playing around with Dom now. Like, it's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're doing something to prolong everything, which fine. Anything is better than nothing, I guess, but I don't know. Like there's only so much you can do if Dom is, legitimately injured and all that. But drop. What do you think of the backstage segment first and foremost?
Oh, this is probably one of my favorite parts of the show, easily, because
fair, yeah.
Mainly for the comedic aspect. Because I like the whole thing that's going on with AJ and Dom, because me and Vash were getting a good laugh out of it when we were watching it together, because I just like this whole thing where it's like, okay, you got this little memorial for Liv and everything, that's supposed to be a little meme there because she's away because she got hurt and everything, so it's almost like she's never going to be coming back. Like, I thought that part was funny. And then you had the whole thing where it's like Dom receives a cake, and it's like, oh, a get well soon cake, because they probably thought, okay, the whole gang's together. Maybe one of them got the cake. It wasn't from Roxanne, or wasn't from Raquel or JD or Finn or wherever. It said AJ on there, and then you see like AJ Styles just looking at him in the back, like doing the whole eye signal thing. And it was another thing I saw on Twitter as well, where it's like, with the whole thing that's currently going on with AJ Styles right now, he's giving us like a lot of new memes when it comes to the image that Vash has as his background, or even the image of him peeking at Dom. I mean, I'm really liking what's going on with the whole AJ and Dom thing, just because it's so funny that he's just hunting him down until he's ready so he could go after that title, which I'm honestly hoping is the end goal, because if AJ's putting in a lot of effort to make this whole thing entertaining when it comes to just the comedic aspect of how he's just toying with Dom, I mean, just reward him the title just for that effort alone, just putting all of that work in just to make this like very fun to watch on weekly television. But it's like, I'm really liking the stuff that's going on with the Judgment Day now, because they were stale for like quite some time, but ever since they had a lot of these new things mixed in there, and with Liv not being there, and like other stories like starting to marinate and everything, I've been enjoying seeing them on television. Like, it's giving me that feeling I had before, where it's like, okay, I actually care that they're here now, rather than just seeing them on the TV. Like, I like seeing how Roxanne and Raquel's relationship is going to evolve, and seeing them go up against the big battle that they're going to be having in Evolution, and seeing how things evolve from there, and just looking at everything else going on in between. I'm just really invested in it. So I did enjoy that backstage segment that we had to enjoy the show, that we opened up the show with.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun and all that. But yeah, so this all leads into a match that was announced, I believe, last week, where Roxanne was gonna get a little bit of revenge for Liv by taking on Kairi Sane. I thought the match was really good. There was some good mat wrestling to start, with Roxanne and Kairi trading a bunch of roll-ups. Like, it was really fun to watch and all that.
By the way, I love when Raquel calls her okay, Chiquita, go do the talk if you believe you could do it. I don't know why, but just having Raquel calling Roxanne Chiquita, I don't know why it just hits different when Raquel tells her to live. It's just like when I see Liv and Raquel, like I see best friends, but when I see Raquel and Roxanne, Raquel and Roxanne, I see like the annoyed type of little sister, like, okay, come on, go ahead, Chiquita, go do your thing. You talk this shit, let's see if you can walk this shit. Come on, let's go.
Whereas with Liv, it's just like, oh, come on, Chiquita, or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's like adorable Chiquita, like, come on, Chiquita, come on, baby girl, come on, bebe, with the B-E-B-E. But with fucking Roxanne, like, come on, Chiquita, go ahead. Come on, you're annoying.
It's the difference between, hey, come on, Chikorita, come hang out with me. Whereas, God damn it, Chikorita, piece of shit Pokemon, evolve, damn it. Oh man, but yeah, so the match itself was pretty dang good between Roxanne and Kairi. Again, they were trading roll-ups here and there until a slap heard around the world from Roxanne kind of puts an end to the mat-based wrestling here. Roxanne targeting the arm throughout the match. That's the whole story here until Kairi starts coming over. She's like, all right, I'm gonna finally get one over on you. I'm gonna win this match. Boom, we're gonna do this. But of course, Raquel gets involved and Kairi takes her out. And you think Roxanne's gonna actually capitalize and win, but thanks to a nice little backslide here, Kairi pulls out the victory, the big old dub. And a post-match beatdown happens, and out comes Asuka for the save. The Kabuki Warriors not only reunited tonight, but they are back. They're going to be the Raw team to go up against not only Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne.
A question for this for you. I'm curious as to how you feel.
Oh man, yeah, they're going to be part of this Fatal 4-Way now for the tag titles. I mean. When you see that Roxanne and Kairi were gonna face each other, you kind of had a feeling, okay,
it was a setup.
Kairi's probably gonna win, and that's how we get the Kabuki Warriors back. Like it basically played out the way it did in my head.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
It's just the one thing I feel bad because to add additional context that in case anybody did not see the VPN version of where Maxine Dupree and Natalia with Tozawa they were doing a backstage segment as well on top of the crowd, and Maxine was speaking very highly of herself being trying to go for Evolution and do other stuff. That tell her, hey, reminder, you and me are gonna do this together, right, and everything. But these two have been building themselves as a team for the past couple of months. Nothing that they've been featured, but they've been at least backstage. A few things we've been seeing here and there. Even Adam Pearce has been appearing with them once or twice about them being a team and trying to do something as a tag team in the women's division. However, I want to state this first. I am a big fan of Asuka, and I'm a big fan of Kairi Sane. I love them as it could be good words, but for Kairi Sane to win and then Asuka to come in and talk to Adam Pearce and say, "Hey, you know what? Let's bring back the Kubiko words for one time." Once he said that, I'm like, "All right, cool. This might be an actual one time because most likely they're not gonna win. Who knows when the time comes?" But for Adam Pearce to bring that up, and I'm like, "Okay, cool. This is an interesting because I have complaints. I know that we will talk about it this Thursday, but this whole type of booking for Asuka and Zadia, we're gonna beat her. Cool. We knew it was gonna be Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. The fourth team for Raw, we thought it was gonna be either the Kubiko Wars as a big if, or it's gonna be actually Maxine Dupree and Natalia. But for Kabuki, I'm not mad. It's just how it happened. It's where I'm kind of like, sure, I guess they just won, he got beat up, and now they're just gonna. And Pierce said, you know what? A one-time thing, let's have you guys there because they're star power, which is a great, amazing. Like, they make it more impactful star power. I'm here for it. But I don't know. So how do you guys feel about that? Like, with the addition opportunity of being missed for Natalia and Maxine Dupree, which congrats for Natalia for her first feature last night being at the Reality of Wrestling. So she's doing her own thing in the indies now and doing her own thing to help other small stars, but just not being with Maxine Dupree or Natalia, which most likely they're going to be in the Battle Royal, I assume now, to still be involved. But how do you guys feel?
I'll be 100% honest, and I do not mean to come off as an asshole when I say this, or a dick. I do not give a shit about Natalya and Maxine Dupree. And that's not me talking about them from a wrestling standpoint. It's just the Kabuki Warriors are bigger names. And like you said, the whole star power thing, that's why they're there. And then you got Natalya doing her own thing on the indies, which probably is a lot better than, I would say, being part of this match anyway, because that seems to be doing a lot more for her character as a whole based on what I've seen online. So I'd rather her just continue to do that. But their overall presentation on WWE television, if they were out there getting their reps and having matches and stuff along the lines of that, maybe I would care a little bit more, but it's just been backstage segments with them, so it's kind of a little hard for me.
And it was usually not on US TV.
Yeah, so it's just hard for me to get invested with whatever's going on with them. I mean, they're not really doing anything. Like, Rusev moved on from them. He's not toying with Toizawa or whatever it is. He's focusing on Sheamus, and the ladies are talking about doing this whole thing. And, I mean, where is it going? It's just constant. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like you're talking about doing something, but you don't put the pedals in motion to actually do it. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't have anything else to really add to that because it's just that. Like Maxine and Natalya, they're just body. I prefer them being in that battle royal than Asuka and Kairi.
Agree.
Because if Asuka and Kairi ended up just being in that battle royal, nah, either one of them's winning or I don't want any of it.
Yeah,
and that's it. That could just be me. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like, nah.
No, I get what you mean.
But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad. Plus, like, it does make sense because, like, you may think, oh, well, they didn't qualify for it at all. Blah blah blah. Well, Kairi did kind of pin a champion. She did pin one of the tag team champions, so it's just like that's there. I mean, it was a singles match, but I mean, at the same time, one of them did get pinned, so that's enough because we've seen builds like that happen before in wrestling. It's fine. I can brush that underneath the rug and all that.
And another thing too, it's like they're not really a fully established tag team, so even with her getting pinned, I don't really care because they're not really anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you could always blame it on Raquel too. Like, oh, even though she, tried to pull you out of the ring to get you safe and all that, it was enough to like get Kairi up there to knock you out, and then like just all that confusion and led up to you being pinned. And I know people are upset too with Roxanne's losing record right now, which I get you, I feel you, and all that. I get it, but there's nowhere else to go but up for her, so I'm confident she'll be fine. But just as confident as I am about El Grande Americano saying, hey, dirt sheets, I'm not injured, I'm still around, I've got a match tonight against Dragon Lee, which the match is pretty good. It seems like El Grande Americano, because it seemed like he took some time off after Money in the Bank, which fair enough, everybody deserves a break, and it looks
like he got some height implants.
Well, no, he did bulk up a little bit. He bulked up his body and all that, but like I think the biggest thing here is like, a bit of his arsenal kind of changed a little bit. Like he's not as high fly anymore. He's more like a little bit more grapple based, but like he's still hitting the Hurricane Ranas and all that stuff. So still being the old luchador and all that. But yeah, he's here to take on Dragon Lee. And I thought the match was pretty good. Again, lots of high flying grand action that you would expect from El Grande Americano and Dragon Lee. But El Grande Americano does pull out the win after hitting a flying headbutt, clean as a whistle, no distractions, no weapons, no hidden mask things or anything, no metal plates, like none of that happening. Clean
that we know of because he did shake his he did shake his mask a bit and like tap it a bit, so who knows.
Well, sometimes you just gotta adjust yourself. You know, it's fine. You know, sometimes you have to adjust your underwear. Sometimes the luchador has to adjust their mask. It happens.
It happens. Yeah.
It's whatever. Yeah. But Vash, what did you think of the match?
I love how, to add a big context before the match happened. If anybody did not catch it, the Creed brothers, Ivy now came in to talk to Adam Pearce. Ivy now spoke to Adam Pearce, said, "Hey, I want to speak to something." But then, Crudus, I believe Crudus will say like, "Hey, wait, Grande Americano is having a match, but Chad is not here." And I love how what does Chad have to do with this? And you're like, cause you know, they're the. And I love how forgot his tag team partner's name, but I love it like, yo, bro, shut the fuck up, like we're not supposed to say who he is, like, shut up. And I mean, I was just ignoring like. So anyway, I came here to ask you about me to be in the Battle Royal. He approved that, and I love how the question like, but wait, who's Grande America? And they just walk away, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. Do I still give a fuck about Grande Americano? No, I already have moved on. But I like that Ludwig is being here. I'm just waiting because I think I'm not sure if it happened tonight. Because if it did, I totally missed it. But I'm waiting for Gunther to be walking around backstage, and then just catches Ludwig, says hi to him, and then 20 minutes later he catches a Grande Americano Ludwig version, and just be like, "Huh, you look familiar. You look, huh?" And just walk away. And just be like two different people, but the same person, and just Gunther just questions it or don't even ask. But that's just something I would like to see as a fan. I don't know about you guys, but the match itself was cool. Dragon Lee losing, I guess, but it just helps the luchador aspect, since I don't know where the fuck is the rest of LWO here existing in this type of universe of, you know, of a 3-hour Raw that we could use, but we're just gonna have a 2-minute match of a Grande Americano winning, and you know, pretty cool. Headbutt, flying headbutt with a steel plate on his mask still.
What are you talking? Steel plate? What? Nah, he won that thing clean as a whistle. What are you talking about? But Drop, what do you think of the match? Us continuing this El Grande Americano shtick going on into, I'm assuming, going into SummerSlam, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? What do you think of all this?
I mean, I'm hoping there's like some sort of goal in mind here when it comes to the whole El Grande Americano thing, because it's like, I can only take it so long. Like, don't get me wrong, it has its moments here and there, and I was very curious to see how Kaiser would factor into this, because it was one thing I was actually interested to see when it came to this. Like, okay, how is he going to factor into this? Is he going to be able to mimic what Chad Gable could potentially do, because we know he is a good wrestler. So it's like, I was very curious just to see how he would mix with this whole luchador thing, because it's just really weird to see him involved in a position like this, because he's just like he basically, like the character that we see Kaiser, he's basically that guy that's like, okay, you know, gotta make sure my outfit looks good at all times, gotta make sure I'm taking my vitamins. He seems like the kind of guy that just really likes making sure everything's in order. So just seeing him in this whole new thing is just, it's just really interesting. Just to see it. Like, I can only imagine Tiffany at home watching this, like what her reaction is seeing all of this happen. But when it comes to that part itself, I mean, that's funny. But
dude, I loved El Grande Americano's like quote unquote facial reactions tonight.
Yeah.
They were priceless. Like, there was one moment where Dragon Lee got him into the corner and he like kicked him down, and he's like just sitting on his ass, and like you would think, oh, you're gonna sell the move that you just got, you know, knocked down on your ass into the corner turnbuckle. But like El Grande Americano just kind of like looks back and forth. He's like, huh? And like as soon as he like looked back at the camera, I'm just like, Nani? Like,
yeah.
Like
I just hope Ludwig is having fun, because you said it perfectly. Like, I wonder if Tiffany's in the backstage, or if she's home just watching it, or probably texting like, yo, babe, have fun. And it's just, I hope he's having a good time. Like, he's a good soldier. He's being told what you do. Like, probably should be like, hey, you're gonna hold this mantle. We're gonna have you out there or something. Who knows? But he looks like he's having a good time. So, Drop, you said it perfectly.
Yeah, I'm just hoping
I
like
do.
we get something like out of this, maybe at SummerSlam, maybe some sort of championship match or whatever, because he is undefeated. This character is undefeated. He has not been pinned or submitted.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering if it'll lead to a mask versus mask match.
Yeah.
And if maybe like, kayfabe aside with this comment, I mean, if Ludwig does end up losing that match, gets a mask ripped off and all that, I mean, what's that going to do for Chad Gable when he comes back? Because he's not going to be able to do the whole El Grande Americano thing, because he was technically unmasked, blah blah blah. You can't do that anymore, kind of thing. But Rey Mysterio exists, but that's a whole other can of worms to open up and talk about at another date. Yeah, not much, I don't think, beyond what we talked about here when it comes to Grande Americano. Just where is the end point with it, I guess. I guess that's where I'm at with it. Maybe my other two co-hosts are kind of near that realm as well with it, from what it sounds like.
I saw a funny tweet from Sanchez. He said, "We hope we get a 30-man battle royal, and we have 30 people that are being a Grande Americano, and who's the truest of them all?" And I was laughing at that, like, if that actually happens, I see Triple H actually booking that for the fuck of it. But I don't see it actually happening. But it will be funny, like, just see another 28 people coming up like, "I am the true Grande Americano. No, yo soy a Grande Americano. No, yo soy." And we just see all different size, all different age, all different persons. Natalie.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm here for that. Like, if we're just gonna go with it, like, cool. Triple H, you gonna do this? Fuck it. If you're still here past fucking past World Collide, where we thought this story was gonna die, if you're still here, then fuck it, go above Crazy and Beyond.
Yeah.
Just make it entertaining.
Yeah. That's all we ask for, is just to make it entertaining and make it fun and all that. But yeah, that leads us into our quickfire segments here. A couple here that tie into Evolution 2 coming this Sunday on Peacock at 7 p.m. EST. Nikki Bella has a nice little video package in the back where she talks about her little thing with Liv. I feel like a lot of that was recorded before the whole injury to Liv happened, but hey, fine, cool, whatever. But basically, Nikki Bella is entering the Battle Royal, and the only thing I have to really say about that is neat. What do you guys have? Anything with this part?
She's gonna lose. I don't like. She hyped herself that I'm gonna go to Paris. I'm gonna get the title opportunity. I need to remember. I need to help have proof the Bella Army and show my son what the WWE universe could show. And I'm like, can you just show him the playback? Can you just show him the archive? You can show your son the archive what you used to do. You need to show your son now what you can do, because you're like, also, like, look. Trish Stratus, good, could still move. She had a good match with Becky Lynch last year in the Hell in a Cell, I believe, or 2 years ago. She had a good run with Tiffany as a tag partner. They had a good chemistry. Good. Trish knows what to work, and welcome. When it comes to the Bella, Brie Bella, not saying, I'm sorry, not Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, not saying that I don't hate her or not. It's just that right now you're just doing a lot of talking. I don't know what you can do in the ring right now. I don't know if you're rusty. I don't know if you've been training. But at the moment, Nikki, your time has come and is great. You have helped a perfect legacy within the women wrestling of professional. But I'd rather see the current stars succeed more, because they're the ones that are going to continue pushing the agenda and continue pushing the boundaries of women pro wrestling. That's what I want to see. You being there, all right, cool. It's a little check off of evolution or everything. It just depends what the other 27 members are, because I know Stephanie Valkyrie is there and Ivy now. So we know 3 people at least. It's just Nikki, great. I just don't think you're going to be going to Paris.
Nope. Unless you pay for a plane ticket to go over there. So that's probably the only way you're going over there. But drop any comments?
I mean, all I can really say here is, like, this is just another edition for the Evolution Battle Royal, just throwing a legend in there just to show off what else they could really do, because that was her whole mission statement here. She's like, okay, I just want to show what I can do, like, one last time and everything. So it's like that's all I really took here. It's like, okay, cool. You know, we're getting this little vignette just to let us know. We had the same thing with Stephanie Becker a little bit later, which is my pick to win that battle royal. But it's like, yeah, nothing crazy, just simple stuff, letting people know that you're there.
Yeah. Yep. So, and speaking of just letting us know that it's there, a video package is all we get for Io and Rhea's build, which, I mean, cool, great. I mean, basically the whole crux of this build and story going into Evolution 2 for the women's world title is just the fact that Rhea's never beat Io. And the fact that they keep hammering it in, it makes me feel like Rhea's going to win Sunday, which
I hope so. I hope
mean,
not. Honestly, I hope not.
I would rather not either, just because of what else we could get with Io as champion. But I also look at how they've booked Io as champion since WrestleMania, which has been, I don't know, nothing at all. Y'all haven't done shit with her in what, 2.5, 3 months? Like, I don't know, just I want almost very similar to the Gunther Goldberg match. This one I want done and out of the way, so that way we can see, okay, here's what's gonna happen at SummerSlam. All right, the title's still on Io, or oh, it's on Rhea now. Well, now what do we do? Now where do we go? Because like there's so much you can do with Io as champion. But I mean, if they go back down the real well, because again, she's never beat Io for the belt or ever at all. It's like, great, cool.
Yeah.
Why not just keep continuing to tell that story? Because that's actually a really good story. Because like you just keep having, especially like at the stages of each of their careers when Io beat her, like yeah, the first time being, or at least to memory and all that, was like, you know, the Mae Young Classic and all that, which god, that took me back about what, 9 years ago or something. Holy crap. From there, NXT, their time on the main roster and all that, like Io's always had Rhea's number. Hopefully she continues to have Rhea's number. Guys, any quick comments on that before we head on to our final little bits here?
Honestly, all I can really say here is I'm hoping that, well, basically I'm just hoping that Io's able to continue her reign here, because it's like the only moment I really want to see it happen is when they put more effort towards the build. Then I can say, okay, maybe Rhea has it this time, but they're not really putting any effort towards this. So it's just making me feel like, should I really care as much as I should? Because I feel like when the moment comes, you should really capitalize on it and not just have a little vignette package just showing their history of one another. Like if they actually had more moments together and everything besides showing all of their history, which wasn't bad, but at the same time, it's like at least put a little bit more effort there, because it's like they just threw the match together last week. They have this. I mean, it's just hard for me to really look at it, but like, you know what, just give it to her, because then we'd pretty much be in the same boat that we were at Rhea before, kind of like what Io's in right now. They're just going to have her on with the belt. She's not going to really do anything. She'll have her challenger here and there. Like, I'm just hoping they have a good mindset of whenever they want to pull that trigger to give her the title back. But it's like, I mean, Io has a built-in story of Asuka. Potentially, let's say things go south, Asuka turns on Kairi, Io steps in, you could build that towards SummerSlam. Then you could have that whole thing where, let's say, for example, like I mentioned my prediction, Stephanie Becker wins the Battle Royal. You can have a proper match on a PLE with Io and Stephanie Becker and at Clash in Paris, which would be really great because of the environment itself. So it's like there's just a lot of other things you could do there. I'm just hoping they have a proper thing, because they do this stuff all the time, and it's really hard for me to be like, you know what, I actually care, because I don't.
Yeah, and it just sucks because it's just we want to care. You just got to give us a reason to care.
I think
like
it didn't get no build, but also with the idea of like you choosing your opponent and like, oh, it's Evolution. We have no build. Let's just again throw shit against the wall, and it just happened. It's like, yo, it doesn't feel fun. And if Rhea wins, not saying that I'm not gonna be excited. Yeah, Rhea won in the moment. I'll be there. I'll be cool. It just doesn't feel like it was earned. Like Rhea had no opponents in WrestleMania. We're gonna get her opponent evolution and then lose her title. Like if that was the case, then Rhea should have just won the title at WrestleMania. If that was the case, then because it just feels like it was pointless. Because we still remember the beautiful backstage promo that she made back when she lost to Io for her title back in May. So if that was the case, it's like, what's the point of this characterization? Like, this is supposed to be a TV script when it comes to characterization of our character in Rhea, but it just got thrown off the wall and got forgotten just because of a POE that just got made last minute and just got promoted last minute. And it's fucking disappointing.
I mean, there are caveats to the build for Evolution, but we'll talk about all that on Thursday and all that, because hey, we've basically reached the end here. You know, we've been going for about 2 hours now, and look, your champion's getting a little sleepy. He's getting a little tired, unlike some other people who stay up late. You know, it's nearing my bedtime and all that. So we're gonna go on ahead with our final thoughts and lead into our outro for the night. I thought Raw was okay. Like nothing was really like stand out. Like, oh my god, this was awesome. This was amazing. This was fan-freaking-tastic. I think maybe the closest thing to that may have been Penta versus Seth. But I mean, we got some storyline progression with a lot of people. We're quickly trying to shove in some builds for matches at these two events. You know, these two events that are say what you want about what their business practices and all that, but these two events are trying to one up freaking All In. It ain't happening. I'm sorry, not at this stage. But I mean, that being said, it was fine. Nothing really too harmful happened or anything. Just it existed. Again, like I said earlier, it was Monday night email time. That's what Raw's been for me the past like few weeks and all that. But Vash, what did you think of Raw overall tonight?
I had a good time. I was watching it with Drop a few times. We were laughing a few segments. The AJ and Domin's storyline and their interaction with one another has been amazing and has been fun to see. The JD and Finn, like, hey, was it you? No, it wasn't us. So like that's pure gold. The Roxanne and being called Chiquita, like the Judgment Day, like has been consistent with their roller coaster of great bad for the past like 3 years now.
But,
I'm still enjoying what was going on with the IC title of Bayley, Becky, and Lyra. Hopefully that is the main event. Should be, but most likely will be Rhea and Io. And lastly, I don't give a fuck about Goldberg. Can't wait for this last match to be, and then we never have to hear the audience scream Goldberg, Goldberg. Instead, can y'all shut the F up? That's about it.
Yes, shutting the F up indeed. But Drop, what did you think of Raw overall tonight?
So basically, I'm just hoping we have a clear direction after this once we start heading into SummerSlam, because I feel like this is probably like the little stopping point here where we got all of our champions lined up, we got all of our stories lined up heading into the WrestleMania of the summer when it comes to SummerSlam, because this is their first 2-year event. So I'm really hoping they got their minds out of the gutter. They know what they're doing. So I like how there's LA Knight involvement with the main event scene. Hopefully there's more to that than so-and-so beating one person. I'm hoping we got things established when it comes to the world title scenes for both the men and the ladies. I'm not just going to say one or the other. Both of them definitely need something. But mainly on like Raw's side and Tiffany on SmackDown, because we already know where things are going with Cody and John. But I mean, this Raw did what it needed to do for their last bit until the weekend, which they have a lot of stuff thrown together, which, I mean, as we look at it, I mean, talking about it is another story within itself. But those are my thoughts on it. I mean, it did what it needed to do. Nothing super crazy, but did some things in there that I enjoyed talking about tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, a few things here and there that were pretty good, but overall, yeah, just an okay episode of Raw. So be sure to let us know in the chat as we are winding things down your overall thoughts on Raw. If you're watching the VOD of this, let us know in the comments what you thought of the show going forward tonight. Yeah, we'll touch base everybody on Thursday when it comes to like predictions, builds, all that hoopla and all that. We'll even probably talk about it on Saturday and Sunday with our programs as we go forward with that, which again, stay tuned for all of that. The best way to find out what's happening though is to make sure you follow us on all those social media platforms. We've got those ats on your screen here in the yellow. Of course, there's at Anime Studio. That's the parent company. You've got at Weebs of the Ring. That's, obviously the show's social media accounts. You got at Watkins MW, at Drop This Box, at Legendy Vash. You can find us on all social media platforms on those, using those names and all that, or a variation on a theme for those names and all that. And, as much as I mentioned a certain for the podcast, there's also the hashtag of Weebs of the Ring that you could use to talk with us, to talk with the community and all that, and let us know, hey, here's what we thought of this, here's a question for you guys, or here's a way you guys can level up your show. Here you go, have at it. We would love to see this, and this. Great. That's a great way to let us know of that, by using that hashtag on social media, so we can keep track of the conversation before, during, and after all of these shows. But with that being said, I'm going to take time right now to thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you enjoyed what we had to say, again, all the social medias are right there on your screen, right for you, and links are down below in the description for you to go ahead and click on or tap on if you're watching this on your phone. Weebs of the Ring is presented by Anime Studio. Thanks to our production team for all of their hard work. And thank you once again for joining us. And remember, as always, no stunt grannies were harmed in a recording of this podcast. Have a good night, everybody, and we will see you on Thursday for a big old predictions show for the summer Wrestle Fest go home shenanigans. Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Just nos vemos los jueves.
What?